This is my tech vlog of myself, and about my tech talk is about suicide. Now I sharing my my after thoughts. Yes. One of the world classic landmarks, Golden Gate Bridge is a landmark in San Francisco. It is across the junction of San Francisco Bay and the Pacific Canal Strait, the southern end of San Francisco to connect the northern end of the world's fourth highest tower up to 2,274 meters. The total length of the bridge is 2,737.4 meters, but it's also one of the world's most famous suicide sites. When the number of suicides of the Golden Gate Bridge reached 1,000 in 1993, no official statistics were available. Estimated in 2008 has reached more than 1,300 people. In 2005, 5 years before, one average every 2 weeks a man jumped from the bridge to the sea in the movie. Kevin Briggs, a retired officer, said, "Some people believe that walking in the middle of the two towers can lead you to another dimension. So romantic from that jump, you can eliminate all the worries and sorrow, and water can wash your soul. But the truth is, when you free fall, 4 to 5 seconds will be about 70 miles per hour. Hit the water, then the future virtual repetition and the death. Not dead yet, struggling in the water and drown. He doesn't think those who think about this way of suicide know how scary they will face. And according to his experience, once the steel beam on the stand is their darkest moment, it is difficult to bring things back. And in the past, police officers are receiving this professional training, so the damage to them is great. Then he mentioned a few examples. Successfully saved under the example of failures, like trying a few men on the Golden Gate Bridge, 32 men, and finally jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. After the police received a similar complaint phone because the family that they died that did not deal with very well. Then he asked a few questions. If your family, friends, love people have suicide tensions, what would you do? What would you say? Do you know what to say? Honestly, to see the situation, also look at the individual personality, because it's in the face of suicide. I really told him, you go to death, but please do not need to deal with the body. Please do not spare and to other people. But in other person, I didn't say a word because he really cannot commit suicide. In fact, the most horrible is this morning, even with who grieved, then he received his death at night. There is no trace of suicide who cannot be prevented. In some family, feelings become weak. Only fame, money. It is impossible to notice that they have problems, even if can only think that is a moment of low tide. To be honest, suicide cannot be prevented. According to Kevin Briggs' experience, in fact, not only to talk, but also listen. Listen and understand. Don't agree or blame, or tell each other you understand their feelings, because you may not understand. Just stay with them, may be able to become the turning point they need. If you think someone has a tendency to commit suicide, do not be afraid to ask them the question face to face. Then be introduced the man of hope and courage. Kevin on March 11, 2005, he was informed that a person suspected of committing suicide was on the pavement of the bridge near to the North Tower. The next 1.5 hours, I listened to Kevin about his despair and helplessness. That day, Kevin decided to climb over the railing and give life a chance. When Kevin congratulations to him. This is a new beginning, a new life. And asked him, what made you decide to come over and give his dancing? He said, because you listen, you let me talk, listen quickly. So, now Kevin is loving father, but also contribute to society. He spoke openly about what happened